Hi everyone, it's Ali here. Just a bit of a change. Instead of me doing NRL Rumours list, I thought I'd introduce something to this page. Every Wednesday night I'll be making a podcast, whether that's around rumours, news, or Supercoach talk, or something specific. I'll be putting up a podcast, and it's going to be the first one, but today is more of a general podcast, so it's going to have a bit of everything. So rumours, Supercoach talk, team news that were announced yesterday. So I'll speak about that. I'll also talk about some things some fans have raised throughout the page and questions, and I'll just hopefully I get a discussion like I always do with my posts. I'll also be posting up the rumours list. I'm hoping tomorrow night, so Thursday night right before kickoff. Like usual, just do your best to like it, share it, and comment. I also do want feedback about these podcasts and what I could do better, and see how I go. Just any new recommendations, something you want added in the podcast, or something you want me to do new. I be more than happy on doing it, because feedback's only going to make the page grow even more. We'll start off from with all the rumours, any signing news going around. Just today, the West Tigers actually announced the re-signing of Josh Alloway, the young forward, for an extra year. It only came out a couple of hours ago, so he's a good prospect, and it's good that the Tigers are looking out for the future, because they're facing salary cap problems. So having him staying at the club for an extra year, it's not for 3-4 years, but hopefully next year, based on form, which I think you'll get better, you'll get offered more than 1 year. So finally for you Tigers fans, there's actually a bit of good news. Now also about the Tigers with their coach Jason Taylor. The CEO actually came out and said he's staying until the end of the year. So whether he's talking BS or he's actually talking the truth, I actually have seen him at Penrith, so he looks like he knows what he's doing. So I think they can't afford to sack another coach and pay him out, because they're probably still paying out their previous coaches. So Jason Taylor, no matter what happens this year, I do believe he's staying. So whether they finish last, 14th, 10th, 8th, or whatever, he's staying. So I don't know if that's going to go down well to the fans, but I guess they just have to stick by him for a bit and see how they go, because they're going through an important period with their halves off contract, Robbie Farah, Saga, the coach himself, so also the Leichhardt Oval with the council and stuff like that. So CEO can't afford to have a lot of problems on his hands, so I think he'll be staying until the end of the year. Regarding the Cowboys, Lachlan Coote actually announced today that he's staying for an extra 2 years, so that's also news for them, because he's been one of their best, if not their best this year. So he deserves it. 2 years. Who knows what's going to happen after that? He might jump into a better role in the halves maybe, but for you Cowboys fans, he's staying. I posted it on my page a couple of days ago about him staying, so it all worked out for them. Also JT is going to he's going to extend for an extra year, and also one other player who's been talked about for a long time, James Tarmel. He's staying as well, but there's been so much talk about him going to Penrith, to Canberra last year, returning to Sydney because of family reasons, but that came out today, and there's a lot of talk that he's staying. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to re-sign James Tarmel. They've just re-signed Antonio Winterstein. Lachlan Coote just got re-signed as well today, but regarding how they're going to do it, it's going to be hard, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but there has been talk about possibly Ben Hanna leaving, um, Justin O'Neill leaving, and also Ethan Lowe. He's been pretty decent for them. He came out last year, was impressive. This year he's been impressive so far. So for them to keep Lachlan Coote, James Tarmel, they've re-signed Winnerstein. They're going to extend JT's contract. So also Michael Morgan's contract got extended. So I think they're going to have to sacrifice one or two players, and I think Ben Hannon's going to be one for sure. Justin O'Neill, and I don't know about Ethan Lowe, but there's been talk about him possibly leaving. So who knows if that's going to happen or not, but there's been talk about Ethan Lowe possibly leaving. The Panthers, my team, the Penrith Panthers, now there's been talk about a couple of players being on the outer. So James Seguiaro, Elijah Taylor, today Tyron Peachy, Josh Mansell. I know for a fact that Josh Mansell is staying. Whether that's going to be at the expense of James Seguiaro, Peachy, and Elijah Taylor, we just have to wait and see. But Josh Mansell is going to stay, so it's just going to depend on at the expense of who. But because I think Hook and Gus are going to put a lot of money into the juniors we've got at the club right now, so I think Josh Mansell will resign, but he'll resign for a lot of money. And Taylor will go. Seguiaro I think will go as well. I don't know about Peachy. Peachy, his rumour came out today, but I think out of the four that are apparently haven't been offered a contract or they're on the outer, I think Josh Mansell's staying for sure. Regarding the other three, I think Elijah Taylor with Manly, the Roosters, there's been a couple of clubs interested in him. I heard Tigers as well for Elijah Taylor. I don't know. I heard there's going to be a Tigers signing as well, announcement soon. So I don't know if that's going to be Elijah Taylor or not. But Elijah Taylor is definitely not staying at Penrith for 2017. So it just depends on where he goes. Peachy as well, and James Seguiaro is an interesting one because I heard that the Dragons and possibly the Gold Coast Titans after him. So we just have to wait and see there. With the Bulldogs, it's pretty obvious. Jackson, Clemmer, and Mbye staying for an extra 4 years. It's been going on for a couple of months now. It's not a secret anymore. It's just a matter of when they're going to officially announce it. But one rumour that has been going around, but it kind of died out. Conrad Harrell to the Gold Coast Titans. That's still going to happen. That's a big chance of happening. I think that it will happen. It's just a matter of when they're going to announce it and how much they're going to agree for him to go and for the Titans to sign him up for. It's going to be an immediate release, so it's going to be before June 30. So you Warriors fans are going to be losing another another great player. I don't know why he doesn't start him, but you know the answer now. He's not going to be at the club for next year or future. So I think that just watch out for that, the Titans and Conrad Harrell. With Joel Thompson now, Joel Thompson and Benji Marshall apparently there's a possibility that one or both are leaving. Benji Marshall was over the 1 year contract, $300,000. He didn't accept it, so that they took it off the table. So he's not going to get offered anything. So he's going to be leaving. I don't know if he's going to retire, go English Super League, but I know that he's not going to be at the Dragons next year. Joel Thompson, on the other hand, I have no idea about. There was talk about him today, about him possibly leaving. The reason why, well, they are after Luke Keary, but Luke Keary is after a contract which is going to be worth about $700,000-800,000, and they can't afford to pay him that right now, unless they don't re-sign or they release a couple of players. And Joel Thompson's one, Benji Marshall's another. So we just have to wait and see there. Now another one as well regarding which one is it? Yeah, the Gold Coast Titans as well. So we've got they are after a couple of other people as well, so they do want a half as well, obviously. So whether that's they're gonna have a crack at Luke Keary. There's Albert Kelly overseas as well. He does apparently want to come back, so they might have a crack at him. They wanted Maurice there as well, so we just have to wait and see there. But the Titans do want a player, a marquee player in the halves. They do have the money, but it's just about them actually landing the actual signing, because they haven't had luck in the past. So it's going to be interesting times for them. There's so many rumours going around regarding halves: Luke Keary, Adam Reynolds, Corey Norman to Penrith. It's an ongoing thing, but Corey Norman to Penrith as well. I touched on that just now. You just have to wait and see with his the salary cap with the Eels. So you're gonna have to wait and see there, and also what's gonna happen to Anthony Watnell. That's gonna be interesting as well. So that's that one. And you've got the Tigers halves as well. Mitchell Moses apparently was talking to Penrith not long ago. I don't think that's gonna happen anymore because he's asking for too much. Luke Brooks was talking to Bulldogs. I don't think that's gonna happen either. Josh Reynolds is staying at the club. He bleeds blue, so I don't think he'll be leaving. But back to Corey Norman. A couple of days ago, one of the journalists on Fox Sports actually said that his asking price has actually increased to $1 million. So good luck trying to afford him. That's a lot of money for one player. So and a player who hasn't had any big game experience. So $1 million is going to be too much, hence why he's not going to be joining Penrith. That's the rumours done, that's the signings done as well, but going to move on to team news and injuries. There's been a shitload of injuries in the past 8 rounds, and also this past round as well. We've seen a couple of injuries, major injuries as well. Occur Simon Mannering for the New Zealand Warriors, he's gone for 1 or 2 weeks. The young gun from Penrith, Team Ari Martin, he's actually gone for the season, so it's good. You can say it's a good time for the coach Anthony Griffin, but it's sad times for him because he was always compared to Benji Marshall, and he was only going to get better, and he showed that against the Eels. So it's sad times for him, but he'll get his chance. But good news for Penrith that Dean Farre comes in, so Walker Blake goes out, and Seguiara goes straight into number 9. Wallace goes back to 7, and South goes back to 6. So Anthony Griffin thought he had a headache a week ago. Well, fast forward 1 week, there's no more headache. So it's good times for Penrith there. Big inclusions for the Roosters. We saw Boyd Cordner last week. He did very well for them. This week, Jared Hargraves, another big aggressive forward, comes up. Return, with Mitchell Pearce. So his first game in a long time. So it's going to be interesting times to see how he actually plays. And with Origin around, who knows what's going to happen and how he performs. Lalahia for the Tigers is gone for 3 to 4 weeks. Korobidi and young Korobidi is actually gone, his ankle, so he won't be playing this week. Young Tonamapia as well, his knee's gone for the he injured his knee, so he's gone for this week as well. So that's 2 big losses for the Storm, but that youngster on the wing, Vunivalu, I think his name is, he's been doing great. He's been scoring a couple of tries. I think he's scored 4 or 5 so far, so he's been doing well. So he came at the right time because Chambers is gone as well. So good replacement for all 3, you can say. So they're after, but the Melbourne Storm actually after a couple of outside backs. I heard about Ryan Morgan being one of them, and Ryan Morgan from Parramatta Eels I actually do think is pretty decent. So him joining the Melbourne Storm, who knows what's going to happen. Also Kevin Locke as well. Kevin Lockie's returning to the NRL, whether that's the Storm or the Dragons, we just have to wait and see. But I know for a fact they've both been linked to him. Tom Trbojevic for the Manly Seagulls, 6 to 8 weeks he's gone, and Brett Stewart for 2 weeks as well. There's a lot of teams that say 6 to 8 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 2 weeks, but you just have to wait and see week by week, because we know some NRL players, say they clubs confirm that they're gone for 3 weeks, but they return within 1 week, or 6 weeks they return in 4 weeks. So we just have to wait and see. I think Tom Trbojevic will be back in 5 or 6 weeks. Brett Stewart maybe will miss 1 game or both. We just have to wait and see there. So that's the injury news and team news as well. So there's a lot of changes for this week, and it sets up another great round of rugby league. For the Eels, just to touch on the salary cap, the drama that's happening at the club. Basically, I just keep hearing 8 to 12 points gone and a hefty fine. So we just have to wait and see how it unfolds. And I do believe it's going to happen next week, early next week. So they won't announce it this week because of the Bulldogs and Parramatta game. So I do think that kind of will wreck the occasion. So they'll just postpone it for next week. Now for the NRL Supercoach, just a bit of talk about it. I've been obviously playing it for a long time, and I've got a couple of leagues, not a couple, I've got about 8 or 9 leagues going. I mean, been going pretty decent. I've racked up about 1,300, 1,100 in consecutive weeks, so pretty happy with that. Just for me, a change for this week that I'm doing 100%, it's going to be, because I've got Te Maramata in, so I think he's obviously going to go 100% because he's out for the season. And then I'm getting Cody Nikorima from the Broncos. Since Andrew McCullum is gone, apparently he returns round 15, that's the estimate. That's the expected date return, or the round return. So getting Cody Nikorima in is pretty cheap. I've got a couple of, I think I've got 70,000 in the bank, and Te Maramata has made me over 100,000. So if it works out very well, and that actually saves me more money, so I'm gonna have over 100,000 in the bank, and I might upgrade that from Barber, because I've got Barber as well, but he's just getting me more points because his break even's only 40. So if he racks up 50, 60, he'll just keep increasing his price. So it's gonna be either having one trade today, or one trade this round, or also upgrading Ben Barber to a decent fullback replacement, or I'm just gonna use it because I've still got Jaden Nikorima, and he's been dropped obviously, so I might use that to upgrade Jaden Nikorima to some other decent. And the Kurt Baptiste is alright because it does get minutes, but I'll just have to wait and see there, look at some more changes regarding the hooker position. But I know for 100% Te Maramata is gone, Cody Nikorima is in. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to wait maybe until lockout tomorrow, just to see if I can get a better understanding of my second trade, and whether how much that Te Maramata to Cody Nikorima is going to affect my second trade. So I'm going to feel around with the team and see what other guys in the NRL Supercoach actually talk about during the lockout. So I'm just gonna I'll just keep it on pause for now. I'm not gonna confirm anything, but that's where I'm going for. Now, just about some fan questions. I've got one from Logan. He's just asked, what do you put the Tigers' lack of form down to? What do I put it down to? The confidence of the players is one. Second one, it's pretty hard to say because they were doing well before Robbie Farah came in. Has he taken too much control out of the halves between Moses and Brooks? It's for a lot of people to answer, but they've lost 5 or 6 in a row. So since he returned, I've just lost. So I think they started off well. maybe he's taken over some control. So I think that is another. They've just suffered an injury with Aaron Woods as well. Obviously, experience is one thing as well. You can't, having a junior side and talking from experience with Penrith, you're not going to have a consistent team, especially when you've got juniors and people coming back in the side. You're not going to get that consistent form going. So I think that you just have to wait and see what happens. Just give it time and see how it unfolds. But they do have a couple of players returning soon, and Tim Grant, Woods probably back soon. But I think I can't blame the coach. There's no way you can blame the coach after the 60-6 loss against the Raiders. They lost in Golden Point as well. They lost against the Storm by 1 point as well. So you can't blame the coach, because you're looking at Mitchell Moses. He's after 600,000-700,000, but against the Melbourne Storm in Golden Point, 20 metres in front, he should have kicked the field goal, but he put it wide. Brooks missed a couple as well, so those are kind of coach killers as well. So, because who knows what that 2 points is going to lead to in the future. It might be the deciding factor between them and the wooden spoon of them in the top 8. You just have to wait and see. So I think there's a lot of factors you can consider there. Another thing, Jack was asking on the Warriors movement. So one of them is touched on before. So Conrad Harrell to the Gold Coast Titans is back on the agenda. So we'll just have to wait and see there. But regarding the coach, I really don't know what's going to happen at the moment, because I don't see Ivan Cleary joining the New Zealand Warriors, because his son plays for Sydney team, and I don't see him getting split with his son. So that's one of the Warriors movements I've got at the moment. So Kevin Lock won't be returning to the club, so that is straight X. Charlie Gubbs, another one, apparently is being offered contracts overseas. He's a fan favourite, so I don't see him leaving either. And last one from Callum, he's asking about Laurie Daly and the Blues half. So at the moment, based on what I'm hearing, Trent Hodgkinson and James Maloney are going to be in the halves. Whether that's going to mean a debutant like Austin or Caesar on the bench, we just have to wait and see. I hope so. I hope Austin gets the bench spot. I don't know about Josh Reynolds. I think if it's between Josh Reynolds and Blake Austin, I think Blake Austin should be on the bench. But at the moment, that's what I'm hearing. So James Maloney and Hodgkinson are going to be the Blues halves. Mitchell Pearce is no chance. Aaron Reynolds is no chance. Blake Austin, I don't think he'll be playing. So he'll be starting. Sorry. I don't know if Laurie Daly's going to go with 4 forwards or 3 forwards and a utility. So we just have to wait and see there. But at the moment, the Blues halves are going to be James Maloney and Trent Hodgkinson. Do I agree with that? Maybe not. Do I think they deserve it? Probably yeah. But I think there should be a lot of changes. I think Bryce Cartwright, Jackson, Clemmer, Wade Graham, probably Paul Vaughan or Shannon Boyd as well. Austin they have to be in the side. Some of them or all of them or a couple of them. We need changes, and I think they will deserve it. Regan Campbell-Gillard's another one from Penrith as well. So Lachlan Cute as well. Moylan in the half. So you've got so many options, but I think Laurie Daly is going to go with ones that have been there before. And he said that already on NRL 360. He said, he basically ruled out Blake Austin and Caesar in the half. So you can forget about that now. The way he's leaning is going to be Trent Hodgkinson and James Maloney. James Maloney, he deserves it. His Sharks have gone well. He's been great along with Chad Townsend. Trent Hodgkinson, on the other hand, you really can't blame him because, I mean, any halfback in Newcastle side would be struggling as well. So he's playing with a team that is Fulham Junior. So we all know Trent Hodgkin's been there, done it before. He's won, and they scored the winning try a couple of years ago. So we'll just have to wait and see. But at the moment, they're going to be the halves. Adam Reynolds, he's still got an injury cloud on him. He just got injured again, about a jaw, but I think he'll be playing this week. If not, he'll only miss 1 week. It's not a major issue, but yeah, that's a Blues half. Josh Mansell's another one in the side. Ferguson. There's a couple of other new faces as well, but are possibly gonna be in the blue side. But regarding the halves, based on what I know, it's gonna be James Maloney and Trent Hodgkinson. So that's it to answer your question. To wrap it up, obviously I thank Logan, Jack and Callum for their questions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this laid back podcast, and hopefully you do see it as something different and something better. But I will be doing my best to post rumours as much as I can in major breaking news as well throughout the day, and I will be still posting up and uploading the rumours list like I always do. So I'm hoping tomorrow night I'll be doing that, but for now, and every Wednesday night I'll be putting a podcast. And also please comment below about topics you want me to speak about, whether that's a major topic, minor topic, or one whole podcast regarding one topic. But it'll be good if you guys give me feedback about what you like, what you didn't like, what you think I should speak about, how often you want my podcast to be, whether you want it shorter, longer. It just depends on the feedback I get. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. The first one is going to be 2, 3, 4, 10, 15 and 20 more podcasts to come. But every Wednesday night, same time, I'll be uploading a podcast, and I'm just going to be waiting for your feedback. So under this post, please provide me with your feedback, what you liked and just you didn't like, and what you think my podcast should be about, and just other topics you think I should talk about for my next podcast. So I'd like to get a discussion going, and hopefully I'm gonna get it from this first podcast. So thank you all for listening. Hopefully you keep liking, sharing and commenting, because it's the best page on Facebook going around. It's always updated, and it's only growing because of you, not me. So thank you all, and hopefully you're going to enjoy this podcast and many more to come. So thank you, peace out.